Black garlic, could this fermented food support your heart? Have you ever wondered what happens to your blood vessels as you get older? Every year, your arteries and heart are exposed to blood pressure, inflammation, oxidative stress, and the effects of aging. And while you may not feel any of these changes happening, they can gradually affect the way your cardiovascular system works. But here's the interesting part. There is a dark, fermented food that looks completely different from ordinary garlic, and scientists have been studying its unique compounds for their potential effects on cardiovascular health. It's called black garlic, and no, it's not a new pharmaceutical drug. It's simply ordinary garlic that has gone through a controlled aging and fermentation process. But during that process, something fascinating happens. The cloves become dark, soft, almost jelly-like, and much sweeter, and their chemical composition changes significantly. So could black garlic actually be beneficial for your heart? Could this simple food become part of a heart-friendly lifestyle? Stay with me, because we're going to look at what black garlic really is, what research suggests about it, how it differs from raw garlic, and how you can include it safely in your diet. And make sure you stay until the end, because I'll also tell you about a common mistake people make when using black garlic. If you care about protecting your heart as you get older, give this video a like now. Let's get started. The silent aging of the cardiovascular system. As we age, our cardiovascular system naturally changes. Blood vessels can become less flexible. The walls of arteries can become stiffer. Blood pressure may gradually increase, and the risk of cardiovascular disease can become higher. The tricky part is that these changes don't always produce obvious symptoms. You might feel completely normal while these processes are happening inside your body. Maybe you notice that climbing stairs makes you slightly more tired than it used to. Maybe you occasionally feel short of breath after physical activity. Or maybe you simply don't have the same energy you had 20 years ago. Of course, these symptoms can have many different causes, and they should never automatically be blamed on aging. But they are good reminders that our cardiovascular health deserves attention. And this is where food and lifestyle become important. We don't need to search for one magical ingredient. Instead, we should look at foods that may provide beneficial compounds while also building a healthy overall lifestyle. One of the most interesting examples is black garlic. And the reason it's so interesting is not simply because it's black. It's because of what happens during the fermentation and aging process. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to subscribe to Home Clinic, because we're going to explore many more foods and lifestyle habits that may support healthy aging. Now let's look at what actually happens to garlic when it becomes black. What exactly is black garlic? Black garlic isn't a completely different plant. It starts as ordinary fresh garlic. The cloves are placed in a controlled environment with carefully managed temperature and humidity for an extended period. Depending on the method, this process can take several weeks. During this time, the garlic gradually changes. The cloves become dark brown or almost black. The texture becomes soft and sticky, and the sharp, strong flavor of fresh garlic becomes much milder and sweeter. Some people describe the taste as slightly sweet, tangy, and almost similar to balsamic or caramelized flavors. But the most interesting change isn't simply the color or taste. It's the chemistry. During the aging process, some of the compounds naturally found in fresh garlic change into other compounds. The result is a food with a different chemical profile and a high concentration of various antioxidant compounds. This is one reason researchers have become interested in black garlic. And here's something important. Black garlic should not be thought of as a miracle medicine. It doesn't magically dissolve artery plaques. It doesn't reverse heart disease. And it cannot replace medications prescribed by your doctor. But research has suggested that garlic and its compounds may have potentially beneficial effects related to cardiovascular health. And black garlic is an interesting form of garlic because the aging process changes its composition. So let's talk about that difference. Black garlic vs. raw garlic. Fresh garlic is famous for a compound called allicin. When fresh garlic is chopped, crushed, or chewed, certain chemical reactions allow allicin to form. Allicin has been widely studied for its biological activity, but allicin is also relatively unstable. During the production of black garlic, the long aging process changes many of the compounds found in fresh garlic. So black garlic doesn't simply contain more allicin. Instead, it develops a different combination of compounds, and some of these compounds have antioxidant properties. This is one reason black garlic can be easier for some people to eat than raw garlic. Raw garlic can be very strong. For some people, it may cause stomach discomfort, heartburn, or digestive irritation. Black garlic has a much softer taste and texture. That doesn't mean everyone will tolerate it perfectly, but it can be a more pleasant way to include garlic in a diet. And this brings us to one of the most interesting questions. Can these compounds actually support the cardiovascular system? How could black garlic support heart health? Let's start with oxidative stress. Our bodies naturally produce molecules called free radicals. This is a normal part of metabolism, but when oxidative stress becomes excessive, it can contribute to cellular damage. Antioxidants from foods can help the body deal with oxidative stress. Black garlic contains a variety of compounds with antioxidant activity. This is one possible reason researchers are interested in it. Another area of interest is blood vessel function. Healthy blood vessels need to be able to expand and contract properly. One important molecule involved in this process is nitric oxide. Nitric oxide helps signal blood vessels to relax. A healthy diet rich in plant foods can support the body's normal cardiovascular functions, and garlic has been studied in relation to these pathways. But again, we need to be realistic. Eating black garlic doesn't mean your arteries will suddenly become young again. It's better to think of it as one small piece of a much bigger picture. Regular exercise, maintaining a healthy weight, not smoking, getting enough sleep, managing stress, and controlling blood pressure and cholesterol are all much more important when it comes to protecting your cardiovascular system. Black garlic can potentially complement those habits. It shouldn't replace them. What about artery plaque? This is where we need to be especially careful. You may see claims online saying that certain foods can clean your arteries. Your arteries are not like household pipes that can simply be cleaned out with a particular food. Atherosclerosis is a complex biological process involving cholesterol, inflammation, blood vessel walls, and many other factors. No spoonful of black garlic can simply wash away established plaque. However, researchers have investigated garlic and garlic-derived compounds for possible effects on cholesterol levels, blood pressure, oxidative stress, and other cardiovascular risk factors. Some studies are promising, but the evidence is not strong enough to say that black garlic can prevent or reverse cardiovascular disease on its own. And that's actually an important message. We don't need miracle claims to appreciate nutritious foods. A food can be beneficial without being a cure. How much black garlic should you eat? Now let's talk about something practical. If you already enjoy black garlic and want to include it in your diet, you don't need huge amounts. A small serving can be enough. Some people eat 1 or 2 cloves with a meal. Others add it to salads, vegetables, sauces, soups, or whole grain dishes. Because black garlic has a naturally sweet flavor, it can even be eaten on its own. But don't assume that taking more will automatically produce better results. More is not always better. And if you take medications, especially medications that affect blood clotting, blood pressure, or blood sugar, it's a good idea to discuss regular garlic or black garlic consumption with your healthcare professional. This is particularly important if you are considering concentrated garlic supplements rather than normal food amounts. Food and supplements are not always the same thing. The best time to eat black garlic. You may have heard that black garlic must be eaten first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. But there is no strong evidence that morning consumption gives it a special cardiovascular effect. If your stomach tolerates it, you can eat it with breakfast. Or you can simply include it with another meal. The most important thing is consistency and your overall dietary pattern, not a magical clock time. And if eating it with food feels better for your stomach, that's perfectly reasonable. Your goal is to create a healthy habit that you can actually maintain. Can you combine black garlic with honey or olive oil? This is another popular question. Black garlic can certainly be combined with foods such as extra virgin olive oil or a small amount of honey. Olive oil can be part of a heart-friendly dietary pattern, especially when it replaces less healthy sources of fat. Honey can add sweetness, but remember that honey is still a source of sugar. So if you combine black garlic with honey, you don't need a large amount. The goal isn't to create a powerful heart medicine. The goal is to make nutritious foods enjoyable enough that you actually want to eat them regularly. And that's a much more sustainable approach to healthy aging. One important mistake to avoid. There's one mistake I want you to avoid. Don't assume that heating black garlic at very high temperatures will make it more powerful. High heat can change or degrade some compounds found in foods. So if you're using black garlic, you can simply eat it as it is or add it to food toward the end of cooking. There's no need to boil it for a long time. And remember, black garlic itself is already a finished, aged food. You don't need to turn it into a complicated homemade remedy. Keep it simple. A simple, heart-healthy routine. Now let's put everything together. Imagine starting your day with a healthy breakfast. You include plenty of vegetables and fruit throughout the day. You choose whole grains more often. You eat adequate protein. You use healthy fats such as extra virgin olive oil. You stay physically active. You get enough sleep. You manage stress. And if you enjoy black garlic, you include a small amount as part of your normal diet. That's a much more realistic strategy than searching for one food that can supposedly reverse aging. Because your heart doesn't need a miracle. It needs consistent support. Day after day. Year after year. And sometimes, the smallest habits are the ones we can maintain for the longest. There's something even more important. If you're over 50, don't wait until you feel something is wrong before paying attention to your cardiovascular health. Know your blood pressure. Know your cholesterol levels. Stay physically active. Pay attention to your blood sugar if your doctor recommends monitoring it. And don't ignore persistent symptoms such as chest pain, unexplained shortness of breath, fainting, or unusual fatigue. Those symptoms should be evaluated by a healthcare professional. A food like black garlic can be part of a healthy lifestyle, but it should never delay proper medical care. Your heart is too important to gamble with. Your 30-day heart health challenge. So here's my challenge for you. For the next 30 days, don't focus on one miracle food. Instead, focus on your entire routine. Eat more vegetables, choose less processed food, move your body every day, get enough sleep, drink enough water, and if you enjoy black garlic, include a small amount in your meals. Then pay attention to your habits. Not just how you feel today, but how consistently you're taking care of yourself. And I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried black garlic? Did you like the taste? And how do you usually eat it? Tell me in the comments. And if you know someone who is interested in healthy aging and heart-friendly foods, share this video with them. You never know when one simple piece of information might encourage someone to take better care of their health. If you found this video useful, please hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Home Clinic for more practical videos about healthy foods, healthy aging, natural lifestyle habits, and ways to support your well-being as you get older. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of your heart, take care of your body, and I'll see you in the next video.